Welcome back to Hugh Loving Life. I'm Michelle, and today I want to talk about health. Now, someone once made a comment that I adjust my glasses too much, but these definitely won't move, so I thought I'd wear them. Anyway, I just found them when cleaning out a room, which is part of one of my ideas about staying and being healthy, both physically and psychologically. And that's the first thing I want to talk about. So, welcome here and let's explore different ideas to improve our physical existence. I'm always talking about the spiritual, but what we have around us influences us. So, what can you do to improve your home? Are there things laying around that make you feel yucky? Do you feel cluttered by them? If so, those are things that you either gift, okay, give away to like some kind of shelter, gift to a person, or if they're really in poor condition, it's something to just throw away. That's how I look at it, at least. So, this video is going to be in my healthy lifestyle. It's not on spirituality today, but it is related because what we have in the physical is like a mirror of everything, okay? Or vice versa, the spiritual is a mirror. So we want to make things far more organized and easier. So a cluttered mind, a cluttered home is not helpful, okay? It's so much easier to walk in and know where you put your keys every day instead of searching for them. It's so much easier to know where your shirts are and your other things. Let's say you work and you have a lunchbox, you don't just kind of throw it anywhere, you put it in the same place. It is so much easier when you do that. And also, what I have personally found is that when I go through things, I'm like, wait a second. Ew, the energy of that object feels yucky to me. It just doesn't feel good. It feels like old energy. Maybe it's something I had and used when I was in a time of my life that was very painful. So I clean it. I actually do like almost like a ritualized cleaning of an object. I'll just clean it. I'll say thank you to the object. I know that sounds silly, but it's a vibrational energy that I utilized. So I'll thank it and then I'll put it in the pile to donate or whatever I'm doing with it. If something's not in good condition, I will like recycle or throw it away. So, part of living a healthy lifestyle is going through your home and making sure that everything is stuff that makes you feel good. If you don't feel good when you look at it, that is not a good idea to keep, okay? If it makes you feel bad or is associated with a person or events that traumatized you, it might be time to clean it and give it to someone else. So, that is one major thing that I have done to improve my life and to make me feel good and young and new, okay, fresh, because it's all about fresh energy. So I'm not holding on to the past. I've said to you guys in the last few videos, I'm so close to giving away all of my childhood toys. And some of them are even collectors like right now. And I'm just like, I don't want them. I want to move on and let that go, right? It's time to let it go. And these things can take time to get rid of, right? You might still be so attached and you have to work at it, over time, okay? The other thing that I have done to improve my physical existence here is and this is in the same vein of going around your house, I went through a lot of boxes of letters, cards, love letters, notes from high school from friends. I just kept everything. And a few years ago, I thought, why am I holding on to this old energy stuff? I read a few, I laughed, I had some good memories, and then I recycled every one of them. So at this point, they went into the recycle bin. They've probably been either burned or recycled into some cup that someone's using at Starbucks, which is actually kind of cool if you think about it. So there's that. So when you walk around your house, if it doesn't make you feel good, bye bye. If it's old energy and it's like attached to people or things that are done, it might be time to let it go. Also, I went into my son's room with him yesterday and we just went through everything, like dusted, cleaned everything. It hasn't happened in a long time. And we found stuff that was like, you know, from like when he was really young. And I'm like, do you still want this in here? It's like up to you completely. And he's like, no. But he would probably not have done that on his own. So we did that together. And then I also find that whenever I go into a room and do something like this, new energy comes in, something new, something good happens, especially after wiping down the old, the dressers, getting rid of the old dust and energy. It just is like a fresh start and clean. So now let's move on to the other healthy lifestyle choice that I make every single day. I walk every single day before and then after every meal. And why do I do that? Well, first of all, it keeps you healthy. Okay. So it keeps your body metabolism high as you age. Walking, it's not super strenuous, it's not super stressful. You can walk around your own house if you don't want to go to a gym, if it's cold where you are. You can just walk around your house, find a way to go, path, and just set the timer. I set the timer for 30 minutes and I'm off and I don't stop. I'm like, it just go and go and go. And I feel that it helps me metabolize my food better. It helps digestion. It helps basically with your health overall. And I also find that when you eat protein first and you avoid carbs like as much as possible, that you have an easier feeling in your body, I find. So I often make things like different beans, tofu, chicken, fish. I don't eat meat. I don't eat lamb. I don't like to do that. And it's no judgment on anyone else if you like that. But I would say if that's what you're eating, eat the protein first because it's incredibly satiating. It makes you feel full for a long time. And I like to sometimes take a digestive enzyme. Thank you for the hearts. And the digestive enzyme is healthy. As we age, our body has a harder time, breaking things down just naturally. I also like to take a little marine collagen in the morning. I take vitamin D3 with K2 daily. And I don't use the vitamin D3 with K2 that you find at Costco or at any of the Rite Aids or Walmarts or Duane Reads or any of those stores, okay? Why? None of the drugstores? Because they're often made from a different country they've found that there's fillers such as drywall in those brands. So I like things like, let's see, food research, metagenics, standard process, biotics research, things like that. And they might cost a little bit more, yes. And yet, it's really costly if you have other issues that come up later because you've ingested things that are not healthy for you, thinking that you're helping yourself. Also, let's go back to food for a second. I like to, and I've said this so many times in all my videos, like here and there, but it's true. I don't buy anything. Well, that's not necessarily true. There are some people in my home that like certain things, but I will make sure there's no MSG in them. I refuse to buy anything with monosodium glutamate, or sazone is another word for monosodium glutamate. Any of the fake flavor enhancers basically are poisonous toxins. Sorry. Uh, I've done a lot of research, okay? A lot, like probably more than the average, much more than the average person. So you don't want MSG. You don't want things like aspartame, sucralose, even, I don't even touch stevia. I guess I do have a little monk fruit in a protein bar here and there. But for the most part, I don't have chemicals as much as possible. And it's not the easiest thing to do on this planet, okay? Because especially in America, they can lie on the labels. They can say natural. Natural does not mean natural, okay? It does not mean it's just, of love and light and grown perfectly. It could have really bad stuff in it. So you have to know that what you're reading is not telling you half of it. Maltodextrin is also poison. Don't eat it. Okay. So that's going to eliminate a lot of choices, you guys. I'm so sorry to tell you if you are serious about this. Now, as far as food, I also believe it's really good to have a lot of different colored vegetables in the mix. Okay. And very little fruit, just so that you don't have like sugar spikes and carb cravings if you are trying to eat healthy and not, gain weight. Especially when you hit 50, it's harder. At least not for everyone. I don't want to put that negativity out there. Maybe some people never have an issue, but for some people it's not easy. Hello. I will put my special glasses on to see who that is. I thought those were fun. Hello, so call. Hello. Yeah, so it's really important to be able to pronounce what you're eating. Again, a walnut is a walnut. If it says walnut and dyed this, the blah, 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 it's like, why does it have to say that? It shouldn't have to say that. When I go to a restaurant, I basically have to go to mostly the same restaurants because some of the restaurants are so horrific and they have the worst chemicals. They use MSG and everything. And you would think that even nice restaurants would not use MSG, but some of the nicer restaurants, even where I'm at, do use MSG. So I know where to go because I ask them, and now I can order what I want. And there's no MSG in what I'm ordering. But when I'm on vacation, it's never easy because, I actually was on vacation once where I had to literally have a salad and they steamed broccoli and put it on. And I was like, yeah, so you have to be careful and, go somewhere where there's a lot of options because, that's just so toxic. A lot of you guys have asked me over the years, what do you eat? What do you do on this spiritual journey? Oh, kombucha. I like to have kombucha. And kombucha, I will have a little bit of it each day. And it has like, really healthy things in it. So kombucha is a really good choice as well. I find it really important as we age to have some kind of fish oil supplements for the brain and joints. Anything I'm saying here is just what works for me, and it may or may not work for you. But I do believe that those are important. But the most important thing that most people are deficient in, which will cause most of the problems on the planet as far as health is concerned, is vitamin D3 with K2. Some people can't take K2. You have to find out if you have like some blood thinning issue or whatever, but most people can take K2, D3 with K2. And the funny thing and the sad thing is that they will say that the recommended daily whatever is like 1,000, and that is so deeply below what we need. I'll take 10,000 a day. Again, not saying that's for you, but in the winter, for sure, because you could sit outside for 20 minutes and get 10,000 from the sun. But when it's winter and you don't have it, it's no good. Okay, so there's that too. Okay, what's this? Aging. You're aging like a thank you. I'm aging like a fine wine. I like that. Cheers to you. It's funny you say wine because I actually used to enjoy a glass of wine, of red wine, it has resveratrol in it. It's super heart healthy. Beetroot can do the same thing as far as like cleansing your arteries and keeping them open and clean. And garlic is great. Garlic pills. But I don't like to really have any alcohol anymore. It's so funny. It's not like I had an issue with it, but after the menopause occurred, and maybe that's TMI, but I'm being straight up honest here. I'm just, sharing it for anyone who this will help. It's just something that my body was like, ew, I don't want that anymore. you know? So, yeah, so you'll know what your body wants because you'll either feel like good after you have it or really yucky. So there's that too. I like to use and drink reverse osmosis, purified, really. Anything you can get purified because the chemicals that are in our water supply, if you would know, oh, it's so gross. The the recirculated water, which is from our sewage system, okay, and then it gets cleaned. Well, yeah, it has to be cleaned. But you know what? Some of the things don't come out of it. They can't clean everything. So sometimes you're actually, first of all, you're drinking all these chemicals that are cleaning it. One, if it's not purified. Two, you're getting other people's drugs that they let out of their body back in the water supply. So that's what's going into you. Let's see, could tell you about for health. Oh, I do yoga daily and I walk daily. So yoga is wonderful for keeping yourself limber. The stiffness of the body is closer to death, right? And so if you keep yourself more limber and can stretch and things of that nature, then you're closer to life. So it's good to stretch the body. In fact, when you wake up, Qigong is wonderful. Qigong. I believe it's banned, unfortunately, in certain countries. Probably because it's so healthy. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm not getting political, but wow, like the healthy things don't make money for certain industries. Certain industries profit only when people are ill. So you definitely want to keep up your vitamin D count. Most people are very low. And you definitely want to do things like Qigong, yoga, and most importantly, meditation or contemplation. I chant the word Hue every single day for 20 minutes, sometimes 40 minutes. And it really helps to reset me. I have also recently learned something that is incredibly strange and wonderful, and it's not Eckankar that I learned this from, but it really is interesting. It's about feeling your physical body and feeling your ethereal body simultaneously at the same time, and it being like 2 feet out from you. Wow. Now that is something to feel, okay? It really puts you in touch with, it kind of makes you one, like I am one, you are one, right? Okay. So, what else can I tell you guys? I like to keep my brain happy, and I keep my brain happy by listening to audiobooks daily and also, reading different texts and learning about different subjects. I think that's really important that we keep our mind, you know, nimble because as we age, again, we can lose some of that neuron firing. Like we need to create new neural pathways. Again, not a doctor. It just seems like common sense that we should keep ourselves learning, really. What else can I tell you? Let's see. Water, again, is so important to flush out toxins. Master Shi Heng Yi, who I studied with as in his videos, that you should have 2 glasses of water upon waking because you're flushing out the toxins that you had in the, like from sleeping when you sleep. So it's very important to flush that out, especially on this planet, which is so beautiful, but that so many people have poisoned. Avoid having fish too often. Why? Because the mercury content, it's horrific. The amount of bad stuff in it is staggering. It causes Alzheimer's and different neurodegenerative diseases. So it's good to avoid. What do you do? What do I do? This is what I do now. I was a teacher and a guidance counselor and a singer and I used to do musical theater, but this is what I do now because I want people to learn what I've learned the hard way. Having a person in my family who's a jab, I think I can say that still, victim, a jab victim. I had to learn how to live more healthy in a world that promotes unhealthy things for some people with certain predispositions that might have the MTHFR gene. So people who are jabbed with a certain one that encompasses measles, okay, they end up with potential autism and such. And so learning how to mitigate that and to have a healthier existence here is very important. So yes, I like to share this so that other people can learn and not have to go through some, horrible things. But again, if you're here, maybe it's something you need to hear. Okay, any questions about health? Because this is all about physical health. I always talk about spirituality, and I figured it's time to make a video on physical health. So, I also like to dance. I feel like when you guys want to work out, instead of just walking, if that's boring for you, find something that excites you. So I love dance. If you like, karate, or if you like to bike ride, then that would be something that you could do, right? So something that gets you like happy and raises your endorphin, something that you feel good doing is really important. So when we keep our physical bodies healthy, we also abstain from being around people who are toxic and of a lower vibration, who are only looking to poke at people and upset people or be rude to people. There's no reason to be around anyone ever who is like that, whether they're family, someone you're even married to. You don't have to stay with that. So it's very important to ask yourself, do I feel good and supported by the people that I choose to spend time with? If you don't feel good and you don't feel supported by those people, then it might be time to have a conversation with those people. And if they don't or are not able to be respectful, then it's time to walk away from those people and find others, or just be alone until others come to you naturally who match your vibration, who can be respectful and kind and supportive versus chaotic, dramatic, and draining. So that's what I like to ask myself too. Truly being present and breathing in each now moment and being present in each now moment is probably the best thing that you can do. Just being here now, being here now is what is where it's at, really. So when you're present and you're calm and you're not rushing, then I believe divine spirit calms your whole nervous system. And then you get the next move, an idea. And that makes everything really easier. So I give myself a lot of quiet time just to sit quietly, contemplate, relax. And then, even when you're eating, as some of the Buddhist monks would say, I remember a lot of books of Thich Nhat Hanh. He would talk about mindful breathing, mindful eating, mindful walking, being present with each step, being present with each bite, being completely present in the now moment. And those are ways to keep your body healthy. It's also incredibly helpful when you do that, being present, that your relationships end up being really positive because you're actually listening to a person, and you're also noticing if they're listening to you. You're very present with someone. And what better gift can we give to a person than our complete presence? So, mindful, everything, being present in the now moment. And when you're present, you even know, like I have an apothecary basically of vitamins here. I'm not kidding. It's insane. I, I kind of run my hand across them and go, what does my body need today? And so far, it's worked, knock on wood. But the point is that you're so present that you can hear those little whispers. So the presence is what brings you to the next best step. Maybe you think you should go and, take a dance class, right? But your body, because you're quiet, you can hear your body's going, you know what? No, that's too much for me today. That's too much. I think I need to go for a little quiet walk in nature. Okay. That is being present and that is following through with the whispers that keep you healthy. You're not forcing yourself to do something that doesn't feel right, even if you thought in your mind that it was the right choice. You're listening and you're being present. So, we started with going through each room in your home, getting rid of clutter, giving things away. If any object or item feels yucky to you, you don't need to keep it. Let it go. Talking about vitamins, okay? Very important. Everyone's probably on this planet, most everyone, except people who live like at the equator, are low on vitamin D3 with K2, okay? So, vitamins, maybe go see a functional medicine doctor because they'll actually tell you what your numbers are. I can tell you straight up, and this happened to me. I used to see just an annual exam doctor, and I said to him, well, what are my what are my vitamins? He was like, how do I know? I'm like, what do you mean, how do you know? You're a doctor. I'm like, how many nutritional classes did you take? And he said, oh, I had like one. I'm like, why am I going to you? So I stopped going to him. You have to find someone who actually knows what the levels mean and get ahead of any issues. So if you see something that's low, you can add the supplement. It's called functional medicine and it's really useful. Okay? So functional medicine doctors are the way to go. Walking, getting exercise daily before you eat, after you eat keeps everything better, from digestion to sugar levels in your body to your heart. Everything does better when you walk before you eat and when you walk after you eat. Again, I like to add a little kombucha in my day, okay? I avoid completely, will never drink out of a metal aluminum can. Oh my gosh, like why don't you just drink poison, okay? Because it builds up in your cells in your brain. It's so bad for you. MSG out. Ask, because most restaurants, I'd say 85% on the planet, at least in America, have MSG in all their soups, in the sauces, if they come pre-made, in so many different things. So you basically have to ask wherever you eat, is there MSG in this? Monosodium glutamate. Very unhealthy. Very unhealthy. And maltodextrin. Yuck. And all the other chemicals, aspartame, sucralose, saccharin. It's just, there's even a thing that says causes cancer in rats. Why would you drink that? Because you want it to taste a little sweet. Okay, guess what, you guys? Get used to my Americano is black. Every single day I have a black Americano. Actually, Americano. Sometimes I can even put supplements into it. You can't even taste it. Put a little true fiber powder in your coffee, stir, little creatine. It's good for your brain. Again, not a doctor, get your things checked, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. But I'm saying, like, you don't want to have saccharin or sucralose or aspartame or monosodium glutamate unless, you have a death wish or something. Like, yeah, not good. And I know when we're younger, we think, oh, it doesn't bother me. I can get away with having this. Okay. Okay. But maybe. But as you age, it gets harder for the body to metabolize these toxins and they build up, right? You definitely want to be mindful, get ahead of problems before they start, and walk, get fresh air when the air quality isn't 150 or even 50 outside because the levels have been changed. So They say now that air quality number 50 is mild, okay, or 49, it's mild. But 30 years ago, 49 or 50 was horribly toxic. Okay, so they're trying to make us think it's not as bad as it is, but it is. So you definitely want to be smart and check. You don't want to go on an hour walk, which is so healthy and wonderful in nature because you get vitamin D, you get the sunshine, which is so lovely, the animals, the trees, beautiful, but not when the air quality is horrific. So, and I do have another thing to mention for lungs, which is amazing. Again, not a doctor. Yeah, but OSHA root is really helpful. I've taken it during these ridiculously bad. I mean, there was one horrible air quality alert where the air was outside was black. You couldn't even walk. So I'm like, this is horrible. So I got ahead of it and I took OSHA, OSHA. It's a liquid tincture. You put it in water, OSHA root, and it helps with lungs. So does bromelain, which is from a pineapple, which also helps with lungs and digestion. Probiotics are very necessary, and when you get a probiotic, you don't want to just leave it out. So they kind of die off if you leave them out. They have to be refrigerated. So if you order probiotics from somewhere, then they should come on ice. They literally should come on ice. It's so helpful to journal and brain dump. I call it a brain dump. You just write down what's on your heart and on your mind and you let it go. Okay, that's another healthy thing to stay healthy in the physical body. Again, this is going to be in my healthy lifestyle playlist because it's all about keeping the physical form healthy. So I talked about yoga. Yoga Nidra is something else. Okay, Yoga Nidra is incredible. Yoga Nidra with Ali Boothroyd. I rarely recommend anyone from YouTube. I recommend highly Dr. Eric Berg, Berg, wonderful physician who actually knows stuff. And I also recommend Ali Boothroyd, Boothyroyd. And she does something called Yoga Nidra, and it is a movement of consciousness through the body. So you focus on your right eye, you focus on your left eye, you focus on your right ear, you focus on your left ear. Basically, it calms the nervous system too. It's really helpful, keeping the body happy. Of course, I always talk about chanting the word hue, which is the oldest, highest vibrational word on the planet for love, God, source, all that is. It raises your vibe. And all of these things are reflection of positive growth and in ways that you can keep yourself healthy and happy. In fact, I know a lot of Eckists who are literally in their 70s or 80s and look like they're in their 50s or 60s. I think there's something about being an Eckist, chanting the word hue and bringing so much love into your heart that keeps you looking young. Truly, I do believe that. Of course, the rest of this video, if you're just coming in or not, like all the other stuff I said matters too. But I think that's a big component of staying healthy in the physical form. And just being joyous, really finding something to be joyful about and having an attitude of gratitude. You want to be grateful. I like to, on one of my walks each day, if I can remember, because sometimes you get off and you do different things, but I like to literally make a list of what I'm grateful for. If I'm home alone and I didn't go out to walk somewhere, I'll walk and I'll think of things I'm grateful for. I'll even say it out loud if I'm home alone, okay? I'll just I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for blah, blah, blah. And it really does make you feel good in your body. It really does. It's a positive thing to do that raises your vibration so much because Like, think about Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. Who wants to be around Eeyore? No one. Eeyore is so annoying. I mean, I feel sorry for him, but I think he likes that. No one wants to be around Eeyore. No one wants to be an Eeyore. You want to be positive. You want to think good things that lift you, not things that are like, oh, poor, pitiful me. And don't get me wrong, I've had some really dark days in my time, and you have to go through what you go through and cry it out and feel your feelings. I'm not saying that, okay? Everyone needs to feel what they feel, okay? Therapy is great. Go once a week, you'll never regret it if you get a good therapist. But the point is, trying to also appreciate things is gonna just change it for you, switch it up completely. So being, grateful like every day. Like I said, I walk several half hours a day because I walk before I eat, I walk after I eat. And, it's just really useful to think of positive stuff. So, what else can I tell you guys? I wanted to talk about things that are healthy to do in the physical form. Any questions about anything physical? Vitamins, homeopathy is wonderful. I love homeopathic remedies. There's so many, and it's such a nice way to help yourself without so many side effects. It's so much more gentle. There's so many remedies that are homeopathic that are useful. So, what else have we got here? Screen time, limit it. Limit the screen time, limit the gaming time, not healthy for the body. So that's another thing that you can do. It's really useful. And if you have a blue light on your phone or your screens, employ it. Okay, use it. Also, financially, it's important to pay yourself first, whatever you make. And if, you can get in the habit of putting it into an account, then you will start to be able to save money and you can invest money. And again, not a financial advisor either, but the S&P 500 index funds such as like VOO or FXAIX, things like that, VOO, like you can get a tiny piece of every company in America, tiny piece, even if it's just 30 bucks. You put 30 bucks into it, and then next month you put 30 bucks in, and that's 60, and then 30 bucks now a year later is 300, and that will make you 30 bucks in 1 year, and then typically, and then in 10 years it'll be times 2. So it'll be 600 just sitting there. So there's ways that you can start to feel more empowered financially, okay? Like I've said before on this channel, I lived in a small apartment in New York City. Small. When I say small, I'm talking small. Okay. I was actually once in a closet sized one. So small. Okay. Ridiculous. Um, so I understand what it is to struggle. I really do. Okay. I really do financially. But I do also know that when I started to put money aside, even like just like a little tiny bit, it made me feel empowered and it made me feel like the situation wasn't as bad as it was. So these are ways to trick yourself into thinking you're doing better. And then somehow, like momentum happens and you do start to do a bit better. It really does work that way. Okay, so we've covered physical health, exercise, do what you love, make sure you do it, okay? Each day, make it fun. Take vitamins, eat healthy food with pure ingredients, avoid MSG, sucralose, all that kind of stuff. And we talked about the house and getting rid of clutter, making things organized, giving away old energy items that don't feel good. Um, talked about being, creative. You want new neural pathways in your brains, okay? So, like, try new stuff. It's really healthy. It's good. It takes you out of fear. Once you've been somewhere and done something, then you're like, oh, wait, I did this before. I can do this again. Okay, reading new books, learning something new. going new places, avoiding all those bad chemicals when you go to those new places by asking or telling them you have an allergy. If you use the word allergy, they will stop. They'll be like, "Oh, okay, I better ask." Otherwise, people are just like, I think there's no MSG in it." I'm like, "Okay, well, if you tell me you have an MSG allergy, changes things. They actually check." It's kind of sad, but it's true. Not everyone is as forthright and honest as you might be. I would be hyper responsible about that if someone told me they had an allergy, but I've experienced people who just are not like that. That's the other point is like do what you say you're going to do. You'll feel better about yourself, you know? You'll feel better in your body and your whole heart. It's like if I tell someone I'm going to do something, it's done 100%, and never not. Like it's just the way it should be for everyone, but it's not, and that's okay. But it's really wonderful when people meet each other who are like that. Yeah, it's really a good way to be. It's called being honest and responsible and respectful of yourself and others. So there's that. And oh, as far as skincare, and oh, people like hair stuff. Like I kind of switch up my hair shampoos, but I also like argan oil in the shampoo. You can get some really inexpensive ones too. Even Herbal Essences has like an argan oil shampoo that's really good. It's not even that expensive, and like you don't have to. I don't spend a ton of money on shampoo products. No thanks. I just get a few and switch it up because I think that way your hair it's like responding to like what's happening today, um and then skin yeah, sometimes you can try, and this sounds weird but it's true, castor oil is good to put organic, I want to say cold pressed castor oil is good to put on like your face sometimes once in a blue moon. um Also collagen infused, like I like the St. Ives collagen elastin facial lotion. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the St. Ives collagen one is helpful. And what else can I tell you? Yes. I had to tell someone something. Okay. If you're not sure how many steps you get a day, like if you're not sure how much you're walking or not, getting a little step counter and like putting it on yourself is good. I would never get like something that is like robotized or something like, to read my body. I just don't trust the technology, honestly. But, some of them they'll go up as you move. You can clip it onto your shirt or something. And then you're getting your 10,000 steps a day because that's really what, we're supposed to do to stay healthy. And again, before you eat and after you eat. And even just 10 minutes makes a difference if you can't do that half hour or whatever. Even just 10 minutes, because you have to think about it. Think about this for a second. Think of your blood vessels as a highway, okay? And if the blood vessels are not being pumped through, then debris starts to clog up. So you want to make sure that you're moving your body so that the blood gets through and moves things. It's just kind of obvious if you think about it. You don't want things to get stagnant. Like, in your house, you have to make sure your pipes are being used, right? If you go somewhere and, you have to have someone come turn the pipes on and do that, right? It's kind of the same with the body, but on a much more, um, you have to do it more. Okay. So, what else? Yeah. So, pump those arms when you walk too. You're getting the blood flow, and then nothing can much start building up in there. But if you have an issue like that, garlic is great. Some people, beetroot is good too. There's so many things. Oh my gosh, if people just knew. L-citrulline, for example, lowers blood pressure. Again, not a doctor, okay? But L-citrulline, Cittrulline, lowers blood pressure if you have a blood pressure issue. For reals, okay? Like I said, I have a basic apothecary here. I am not a licensed anything, but I have a lot of people I give advice to for decades now, and it seems to work because I've learned by watching and listening. Again, Dr. Eric Berg is great to watch. Okay, I'm going to tell you a trippy one. You can, there's who else? Let's see. Oh, you know who I like? I like Dr. Mandel. He seems really sweet too. And he has got a lot of things about, acupressure points on the body, things of that nature too, which are really useful. Yeah, like lymphatic drainage, just to stay healthy on this planet. These are things that if you can learn them, they will help you to feel better in your body too. And again, sunlight, so important. Go to the water if you can get to the water. It clears your field, it keeps you more purified. It's so good for you to be near water. Just soak it in. Like if you're not near the water right now and you can't be, let's say you're somewhere like freezing, like, and you can't be there right now. I swear to you, sometimes I will just pretend I'm there. I'll use my imagination and I will pretend I'm there. And oh, I just feel like the vibe of it, like right through me. And I feel like cleansed. It's very cleansing vibration to be near water and to be in the sun. You can even like put your chair near the window if you are somewhere cold and sit and soak it up in the window. I sometimes pretend I'm on a beach near water and I'll just like sit there and I'll just feel the sun through my window, but I'm still getting sun. Okay, I'm not at a beach, but I'm pretending I am and it feels fabulous. Okay. Let's say you're in a situation like I was living in New York City when I was in that small apartment. I you can trick yourself and make any situation seem like a freaking palace. Sorry, I just said frickin'. Okay. You can make it feel like a palace. I'm not kidding you. Trust me. So I got this little table and I put it next to the window in my tiny little New York City apartment. And I would make myself a coffee and I'd sit there and I'd be like pretending I was like, I don't know, somewhere fabulous. And it just made me feel fabulous, right? So if you can't get to that fabulous place right now, you can in your imagination. You can in your imagination. You can listen to books that take you different places too. These are healthy choices that keep your vibe high. And a word that I love that I once called into a radio station in New York City when I was in a taxi, and they said, "Send us this on the ticker," in New York in Times Square, and I did, and they put it up right away. And the word was simplify. It was one word, simplify. What can you simplify in your life? Do it, whatever it is, simplify. If it makes your life easier, go for it. Just simplify. It's such a good thing to do in every circumstance. And make sure you're hanging with good people. No more toxic people. No more people who are there to drain you and to take from you. No more toxic takers. That's a good one. No more toxic takers, okay? Mm-mm. Yeah, no more. Bye-bye, toxic taker Tony or toxic taker Tanya. Bye-bye. No, 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 no. Love yourself enough to put up a boundary. And when you see that people are acting a certain way and you give them the benefit of the doubt and they still are acting a certain way, just start to distance yourself because you are worth a lot more than that. And these are ways I believe that we can live a much healthier life, you know, that's happier and you feel good in your body. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Welcome. You feel good in your body. This is important. This is a body we're using, okay, for a finite time. And it's something that we want to, be able to utilize in many ways. Get out and enjoy this world and learn and live and love. And if we can keep it healthy, that's everything. That's so important. So, what else? We've covered, home, the body, the working out, the food, so many things. So if you're just clicking in now, consider rewinding and listening because there's so many gems that I've learned, unfortunately, oftentimes the hard way, that I've shared in this video about staying healthy on this planet that is just pretty much designed, at least in certain countries, to keep us or make us ill. It's big business. It just is. I don't normally talk about any of this stuff on my channel, but I feel like it's really important. Why not? This is my experience in my channel, right? So I should be able to tell people stuff that might help. And this is definitely useful. I even covered finances. So if you guys enjoyed this, please like, subscribe. I also have a buy me a coffee link. If anyone wants to buy me a coffee, that'd be cool. But if not, that's okay. I'm just happy you're here and hopefully you'll utilize something. Maybe share this with a friend that will help you. It really is a lot of information I've gained over decades of research, decades of learning the hard way and helping so many people in my inner circle. So now I share it with you here. And again, I will mostly be talking again about spirituality in the other videos, but this will be under my healthy lifestyle playlist. And so you guys can check out the other videos in any of the sections. Dance, sing, be happy, find something to be happy about and look forward to in your life. Something to look forward to is important too. Psychologically, it's really important. So thank you for being with me. And I'm going to end this video now with my cool glasses. I think it's so funny. Someone complained in one of these, like I do these videos, just to like share love. And someone literally complained that my glasses were being pushed too much off my face. Are you kidding me? Like I'm doing this to help people. What are you complaining about? So I figured I'd get these because they're not falling off like my others. These, they fall. I have to constantly go like that. But anyway, I just thought this was fun. So love yourself and make it a beautiful day, like Dr. Mandel says. And check out Dr. Eric Berg for the real deal information. You guys, trust me when I tell you, he is really good. And he has a lot of really wise and helpful natural things to do to stay healthy. We want to stay healthy on this planet. Oh, thank you. I see that. Thank you. I would say it back to you, but you're only supposed to say it once and receive it. But my heart sends it back. Ah, very kind. So yeah, and be kind. Why is that so hard for people? Well, maybe a lot of people are traumatized. So go to therapy if you're one of the traumatized, because then you don't have to continue to be traumatized. Life can get better and you can be happy again. Okay, I'm going to end this now. Lots of love, so much love. I will see you in another video and I'll talk to you then.